Now this is it's a lovely project, it's a lovely piece, and it will look great in our lounge room. However, a lot of work, a lot of man hours went into just creating that, and so it's not really appropriate for retail sale unless you are willing to put a large price sticker on it and wait for someone to see the value in it. What we do, however, find quite effective is to take our scales. We've got 4 pieces here of some different colours which we did at the same time. 250 grams. So because that's 250 grams, it will do at, I'm sure we've covered this before, but the specific gravity of most fusing glass is 2.5, which means that a litre of glass will weigh 2.5 kilos. Because in this instance we've got a really nice 1/10 of that. If we had a piece of glass 1 centimetre thick, it would be in a square 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres at 1 centimetre thick. We don't want it to be 1 centimetre thick. What we're going to do with them is the same thing we did before, and just generally put them in a square pattern and fire them off. And of course that will produce a round shape. Square will naturally become a round mass if you heat it and leave it for long enough. What we're going to do instead, I won't use these dams specifically because they're all far too long, but they are what we had around. We'll dam it off again. Could have done that to make more sense visually. We'll dam it off again, and it's going to be 12.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres, which is going to get us close enough, is good enough to 6 millimetres thick. So, I guess our next step is that I'll pop that in the kiln and show you what it looks like when it's done. We're going to use one of our 23 centimetre wok moulds. Same as the last piece, we're going to just do a casting. We're going to do a pattern. For this one we put the pattern in the centre, same as last time where we're working mainly in the negative space. So we want to make it so our colours all line up properly, and again I just like to touch corners. Now we're also going to put one about there. One there. I'm probably going to speed this up, but we'll see how quickly I can do it. So we're going to build a pattern just like that, which hopefully won't slide as I tilt it up to show you properly. Now, because we do need to make this hot and have it spread out naturally, I'll step them out a little bit. Because we want it to be a circle, and I don't want to have to cut a circle out of a square later, we're going to use a circular mould. The easiest circular mould that we can think of is one of those little cake tins that you can make larger, put the bottom back in, seal it up again. Nice and easy to use. $5 at I think it was Big W. You'll ruin it. You'll never be able to use it for a cake tin. But as you can see, we pop it down like that. And I'll tilt this. So we pop it down. It'll provide a nice little ring once we put some 1mm fibre paper just around the inside edge of it to make sure it's never going to come in contact with the glass. As we can see, it's a pretty good size for our little wok mould, and that it fits almost exactly. By the time we put the fibre paper in, it'll be a perfect size. Okay, I'm going to rig the fibre paper up, same as always, just gluing it gently onto the inside radius of this, and then I'll have to secure it in place, and then we'll pop this in the kiln. Okay, so it's now the next morning. We've just taken this out of the kiln. It is still at about 60 degrees, so it's hot. Now, yesterday we really wanted a stainless steel little cake tin and couldn't find one. So we knew this would be a one-shot deal. We'll use the $5 cake tin, and tomorrow it's going to be in the trash. Spending $5 on a single-use mould gets expensive, but when you're only planning on doing it once before you actually find a real way to do it, it's not so bad. So we'll decase this. So the mould came off pretty well. It left a little bit of stuff on the fibre paper, but that's what fibre paper's for. Once we decase that, it's all gone pretty well. The patterning looks good. There we go, the patterning looks good. And it is going to just... So we'll pop that guy down. Pop him on top. He's well sized, which was the main reason that we were willing to just use the little one-off cake tin. And we could, if we wanted to, just slump that straight in after cleaning up the papyrus. Okay, so we're at the halfway point of this mini project at the moment. We've successfully completed the first square plate, and now we've got a nice round form ready for the next one. We're going to use a wok bowl for this one, which is a bowl with some profile. It's 23, this is 23, so together they will work quite nicely. So it's just on the exact maximum that we can use on this mould. Now we're actually thinking that we'll put this one this way up, which is on the bottom. We'll place it in like that, so that the sides of the bowls, if we look into the bowl, that's what you'll see. Whereas if you're looking on the side of the bowl, you'll be able to see sort of half of that pattern there. We have also taken just 4 of our little squares and completed this little micro project. So it is just the same simple little pattern, all 4 corners touch, and then a full fuse later, just with some dams on all edges, just to keep it in line. And yeah, it's made a very nice little coaster, which is about 12 by 12. So a little bit bigger than normal, but nice, quick, easy to produce. The other things we have are our failures. On our very first fusing run on these little guys, we took them up a bit too high, so they went up to about 730, and we really only wanted to be aiming at about the 710, 715 mark. So as a result, they just, whilst yes they fused well and the sides look good, they are, you can see if you look straight on that you can see the white layer and then a black layer and then a white layer. They've squished down quite a lot. Nothing's ever wasted though, so we'll move these to the side. We'll take a glass cutter, just our regular glass cutter, and on it I'll zoom in on this bit. So all we want to do here is take the cutter and score a couple of lines just on slight angles. You can repeat the angle, change to a different angle, do a nice slicey one. So once we've got them all marked in, we're going to need 2 new pieces of equipment. The first are our safety glasses. They're most definitely a requirement for this project. The next is our hammer, which is always fun to use. So first off, put on your safety glasses, and then I'll try to make sure that this stays in frame. All you want to do is hit it above the crack, or above the score line. So it won't always break on the one you actually want. There we go. The glass is quite tough apparently. There we go. But like my dad always said, if at first it doesn't do what you want, hit it harder. What you do with those bits is you just pop them on a kiln shelf, trying to get them to sit up. Some of them will, some of them won't. When you then fire these, they'll slump down into a shape you can't anticipate, which is always a nice change. Every now and again you get ones that don't sit up properly. There's obviously quite a little bit of stuff on the ground here. Anyway, we take all of our large pieces, we'll run them up to the kiln. All of the really small pieces will become cast in excess. So I've got a little bit in here already. And sooner or later, when we do our next casting project, if black and white little bits and pieces are appropriate, we'll run with those. Hi again folks, Ash here from glassfusing.com.au again. We're just wrapping up the second of our second mini project videos. This one was the segmented pattern bar slumps. As you will see in just a second when I pan the camera down, we've got 3 finished pieces on the bench, plus a bunch of little mini cabochons which can be easily made again and again and again, just out of the pattern bars broken up as I showed you earlier in the video. This has been 2 15-minute videos in the making, and unfortunately we did actually still not get to the Primo priming demonstration. It is all filmed, it's ready to go, and I'm going to put it up just as soon as we finished this video. Once it's done uploading, I'll start uploading that one. Okay, we might as well have a look at what we made. Alrighty, so first up on the bench, we've got the plate we made in the first video. It still looks nice. It is actually going to live inside our lounge room, just on the coffee table. So if you're ever around, feel free to pop by, you'll see it. The next one we've made is the wok bowl, which is that little guy. Undecided as to whether or not we made a good decision about which way to have up. I do like that pattern, but I liked that one more. And you can't really see a great deal of it from the side. So, especially because this will probably be somewhere at waist height. Well, you live and you learn. We might put this one up high, just so you can get a chance to see that pattern a little bit more. Next up is our coaster. This was simply made up of 4 of the 50mm long strip segments. You could make them out of the 40mm long ones as well and just have it at about 100 by 100 instead of 120 by 120. But, well, we cut a bulk amount whenever we cut anything, and this is what we had left over. These are reasonably cheap. They're 2 firings, so they won't cost you much. It uses, so 4 of these little segments is 2/3 of 1 strip, so not very expensive. But it is striking. If you put, say, one of these, do a different colour and a different colour and a different colour and a different colour, and you put a set of 6 of them together, they'll look nice and they should sell well. Lastly, on our spread, we have our little, what's left over after we fuse down our chunk glass. Some of them are very good examples of how it works. Let's see if I can zoom in and not lose everything. The trick to these guys is you never know what you're going to get. So we get ones that look like that in the firing, and then we come up to this one here, which is an extremely plain black with a little bit of white on either side. However, flip it over the other way and it's an extremely interesting pattern. So we're going to refire this one this way up on the kiln shelf, and that'll make this edge the nice shiny smooth one, and I think that'll be an excellent little cabochon. Now we do have a lot left, quite a lot left. There it is. However, because all they need to be made is to go up to a full fuse temperature, whenever there's space on the kiln shelf, we'll throw a couple of those in and get a couple more of these for free. Okay, I think that's enough of a wrap up for this project series. Thank you all for watching. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them here or to send us an email at info@glassfusing.com.au, or give us a call. The phone number's on the website. Thanks very much.